What is going on, my YT gang? This is your boy Rio, and welcome if you are new to the channel. Today we got to talk about it, guys. That boy Shedeur Sanders, according to some sources, Shedeur Sanders should have been a Baltimore Ravens, and we finna talk all about that today. But before we get into the video, make sure you guys like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We trying to hit 3.9, so if y'all can help me out with that, I'd gladly appreciate it. And make sure y'all get down in the comments and let me know how y'all feeling about this whole situation. Now, like I said, according to some sources, that boy Shedeur Sanders should have been a Baltimore Ravens. And I'm going to tell y'all how it came across my ears, because I ain't going to do too much talking. I want y'all to hear the whole interview, okay? I was up looking at NFL Sunday Countdown, and I was brushing my teeth right before I was about to turn it and go to start listening to my Sunday service, because I got to have the word in me. I heard them boys start talking about Shedeur Sanders, and I was like, man, maybe he's about to get ready to start. Who knows? So I ran out here to see what was going on. And they had a whole conversation about how he was supposed to be drafted by the Baltimore Ravens. And I want to know how y'all feel about this. For one, I want to know if y'all think it's true or not. And for two, if you think it's true, how do y'all really feel about that situation? Let's take a look at the video.
Our good news was all set. A consensus had been reached. The Baltimore Ravens, were planning to select Shedeur Sanders in the 5th round with the 141st overall selection. But when he found out, he got word back to the Ravens that he preferred not to go to a place where he would be competing and backing up Lamar Jackson. He wanted to be in a place that he could play. And so when the Ravens got that message, they pivoted, went a different direction with the 141st overall selection. And 3 picks later, the Cleveland Browns selected Shedeur Sanders, who will be in Baltimore today, where he could have been spending his NFL career if he were willing to back up Lamar Jackson, preferred not to do that. And so Shedeur Sanders will make that trip to Baltimore today. Could have been a Raven, but he's a Brown, 3rd string on the depth chart, Randy.
Shepty, I mean, the intrigue of Shedeur Sanders and the story of that weekend at the draft just sort of never ends. And so here we hear this, that he chose not to go to Baltimore. Teddy, reaction?
Yeah, you want to go somewhere where you compete to be a starter. That's me. I mean, I don't play quarterback, but I hear that. Listen, I just want to go to any team where I can compete, being behind Lamar Jackson, or I just want to be a starter. Where can I compete to be a starter? I think that's what Shedeur was thinking there.
Does it make sense to you, Randy, for him to say, Lamar is there, he's going to be there for a decade, it's never a place I'm going to get a chance to play? Do you think it's a sensible choice?
Let me piggyback off of Teddy. You talk about Lamar Jackson's going to be probably retired with this organization. So if the backup does get in, he's in for garbage time. So I can see why Shedeur Sanders made that decision. I want to go compete for a job and get out there and play as a rookie.
Yeah, I think this is insane, right? Like, if this is true, I think this is crazy, right? At this point, you're in the 5th round. I understand you had higher hopes, but you've dropped to the 5th round, and you're thinking about being a starting quarterback the next year. I think this is incredibly short-sighted. Like, if you're in this situation, you want to go to an organization that is going to develop you, right? Here you have the Baltimore Ravens, the model of stability in the NFL. This regime's been together for how many decades now? And actually has a track record to develop quarterbacks. Joe Flacco, Lamar, right? Instead, you choose the Cleveland Browns because you think you have a chance to start the next year. And mind you, the Cleveland Browns, who are on the opposite end of the spectrum when it comes to stability, right? This is the same organization that walked away from Baker Mayfield as the #1 pick in the draft. What's he gone on to do? Oh, he's only led the NFL in touchdown passes since joining the Bucs, right? How many there's been 700 starting quarterbacks in the last 20 years for the Cleveland Browns. Like, this makes 0 sense. You want to go to a good organization where you can develop and reach your potential.
But Alex, you said a key thing there about they develop quarterbacks. But if you think you don't need to develop, now you're looking for a responsibility. He certainly doesn't think he needs developing. He thought he was going to be the 1st overall pick. So for him, Cleveland made more sense and guess what? I wouldn't be surprised by the end of the year if he doesn't start for the Cleveland Browns. Would anybody?
It does no good
But you
to go
develop
play
on the field, right?
Not in a bad situation. No, you go put bad film out there, see how that does for your career. I mean, it'll be a quick ticket out of it.
It's an interesting juxtaposition between that position and all the others, right? At any other position, you just want a chance, is what you're saying, Teddy. But quarterback is sort of a unique set of circumstances.
You're not going to see the field in Baltimore.
Yeah.
I mean, ever.
Why is that a bad thing for a couple years?
Because you can't play.
Oh, get out of here.
Get on the
Lamar
field.
Jackson is not a couple of years. I'm talking about maybe 8
Not
to
even
10
2,
plus.
yeah.
As a fifth-round pick, he's only signing a 3-year contract, right? You go learn for a few years, you get better at your game. The wake-up call of, hey, I am a fifth-round pick. I'm not a finished product.
So lastly,
I need to get better.
So lastly with this, if he signed a 3-year deal with the Cleveland Browns, do you expect to see him on the field within those 3 years?
Oh, he probably will.
Okay.
To Rex's point, he might.
promise you.
Okay,
will.
And
so, but if he would have signed a 3-year deal with the Baltimore Ravens, would you expect to see him on the field within 3 years?
I mean, hopefully not. Hopefully Lamar's playing. He plays in the preseason. He gets better every year, and then he goes out and proves himself later when he's more prepared to have success.
And maybe tries to become the next Sam Darnold or Baker Mayfield or someone who
Countless
finds
guys that
success
have
in their
gone.
next stop. It's an interesting decision. Again, endlessly interesting
why I don't
what
play
happened with
quarterback.
Shedeur that weekend.
Now, when it comes to me, if this is true, I have some mixed emotions about it. For one, if he was to be signed to the Baltimore Ravens, it would have been a good look on his behalf as far as him developing. Okay, we know that when it comes to the Baltimore Ravens, they are very capable of doing so. You look at Lamar Jackson and how they developed this young man of being one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. He is one of the most elite quarterbacks in the NFL. And I feel like based off of the chemistry that he could have had, Shedeur Sanders could have had with Lamar Jackson, definitely would have helped him become a better quarterback for sure. When you look at Joe Flacco, he won a ring out there in which he has managed to sustain a very long career in the NFL. So when it comes to them being able to develop him as a player, man, I was all for it. I would have been all for that. The only problem is this man would have never, ever been able to see the field sitting behind Lamar Jackson. And we all know that. We all know that. If that man would have been a backup quarterback, especially if they would have gave him or renegotiated or redid his contract to have him playing under Lamar Jackson for another couple of years, he would have never saw the field, hands down. So at the end of the day, I really feel like, he's in the best position on the team that he's on now, because this is a team that he can definitely get an opportunity to start. However, he's still not in the best position considering the fact of how they're treating him as of right now. Now, when it comes to him being on the Cleveland Browns, like I said, he would definitely be able to see the field. And I'm feeling like it's going to be sometime this year for sure. The only downfall is, like I said, how they've been treating him. And also knowing that he's not going to be able to develop as a quarterback when it comes to the Cleveland Browns. And it's solely on the way that they are treating him. And you look at the history on how they treated all their previous quarterbacks. You look at Baker Mayfield and how he did. Terrible. I'm talking about terrible as a Cleveland Brown. But then when he went to another team, he went to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, he went to the Rams, you start to see him to become a quarterback, a true quarterback in the NFL. And now he's one of the best quarterbacks, the top 10 quarterback in the NFL. So him being on the Cleveland Browns, man, is sketchy. It's sketchy. I'm really hoping that, he do get his opportunity. He do shine. Another team see him, pull him out of there, get him right as far as becoming a very good quarterback or a great quarterback or even an elite quarterback in the NFL. And then he just rise to the occasion and become a champion. But y'all let me know how y'all feel, man. I had to show you guys this real quick. And if you think it is true, do y'all think it would have been a good look or a great idea for him to be signed up under Lamar Jackson as a Baltimore Ravens quarterback? Get down in them comments. Let me know about that. I got to get up out of here, guys. I love y'all. I'm going to get at y'all on the next one. Yeti.